in Jamaica. They have come to be beacons of the Father here, to help to raise the consciousness of those here in this country. And there are more who will come out of the woodwork as they see that more people are not afraid to express their truth and to be who they are. And fear is the antithesis of love, and God is love, and therefore God cannot be fear. So those who say they worship God, yet they are afraid, well, I do not know which God you are worshipping, because you are building a God in your own image. God is a God of love, and therefore there must be no fear. And if we take on the mantle of Christ and we are prepared to go the distance, the Father will open the doors of opportunities and bring people our way who will support us. I remember that Christ said to me through one of my channelings, He says, "Onward, children, onwards, march towards the height, the pinnacle of glory where your spirit shall alight. Do not fear the battle that plays out at your side, for the mighty I am presence," that is the presence of God, "will keep you in your stride." Do not be afraid. Onward, children, onward. Bear the golden torch, beacons to the rescue, ardent for the cause. March with me to victory, a new world to behold. My rod and staff I give to you, be shepherds to my fold. And there are many here in Jamaica who have been given that staff and that rod. And they're going to open and pave the way for the Jamaican people who wish to emerge from the lethargy of tradition into the transcendent realization that it is through their mortal experience that they will discover God, God within them, and God of them. The Father said to me, "This is the message that I want you to bring to my people. Where thou art, I am. Where thou art, I am." God is within us. We are not separate from the Father. And you will not begin to imagine the sense of empowerment that you feel. Not power from the ego, but empowerment. The Christ was humble yet exalted. We too can experience that. The Christ said, "Be ye as perfect as the Father in heaven." But the Father is within you, and you can reflect, because I say you have the spiritual DNA of the Father, and just as how you reflect the human DNA of your parents, you can reflect the Father's traits and characteristics also. We are one, and it is time for us to claim our sovereignty, our birthright, and it's time to honor the Father within us by allowing Him to live through us. He said to me, the only legitimate part of you is the Spirit of God within you. He said, you are here to pour Spirit onto your earthly work. He said, you are here to legitimize life.
Powerful words indeed.
And you know what? I got those from no book, but from the Father, from cultivating that deep, abiding, loving relationship with Him. He says, everything you need to know is within you. You seeking truth, seek it within you. Anyone who places anything before you and says that comes from God, you come to me. Says a call compels an answer, I will answer you. What is the best place to get validation of truth but within yourself?
In layman's terms, how can we, how should I put this, to be more in tune with God?
First of all, desire. You have to have the desire to know the Father in truth. And you have to intend it. And you have to come to a place of genuineness and purity. Because that's what God recognizes. And your angels and guides will move, as we call it, heaven and earth, to help you build that connection. It didn't happen to me overnight, you know, contrary to what people might think. I had to go through my life's experiences. I was stretched until I found the Father within me. I went through what we would call emotional pain and suffering until I surrendered fully to the presence within me. And now I am called to the altar of humility, where I kneel to be knighted by His golden sword. Prepared am I to take this mantle on, to walk in humble tones throughout my life, to serve the greater will. Yet knowing through the I am of myself, the presence of God within myself, that through the lineage of my birth, where I have come from, daughter of God, through the reverie of its silence, I am exalted. I come with divine authority and in divine integrity, and each of us must reach the place where we can say that, because it is all right.
Any other great words you want to share with us before we close? Any other message that maybe we can?
Do not compromise your sovereignty. Do not surrender your right to engage in one of the most thrilling and inspiring of human experiences, your quest for God and your quest for truth. And do not be afraid to face the perils of intellectual discovery. Yes, it might disturb your conditioning. It might shift you from your comfort zone. It might make you feel very uncomfortable, but that is fleeting, because what you experience thereafter is such a sense of empowerment within you, such unity with the presence. Fear does not exist. You come to see yourself and all as love. Love is all there is, because God is love and God is all there is. He's reminding me now to say to you, I alone am. What I am, you are. Where thou art, I am. That is a message that is flowing through me. It is time to recognize our divinity and to take our place in the kingdom. And to those who will lead others into the kingdom of God, and the kingdom of God is not a physical place. Heaven and hell is within us. We created it. Okay? He said to me, he has taught those who will lead others into the kingdom of God must walk in the clear light of living truth. And more now you will see people gravitating to those who are giving out the vibration of God's truth. The kingdom of God is not a place. It is not a physical structure. It is a psychological state. It is a state of beatitude. It has its own reward, its own rewards. It offers no miracle. It simply is. You create within your mind your own heaven or your own hell. Because we can be right here and experience the kingdom of God. Because that's what the Christ wanted to do. To show man that the kingdom of God is in the hearts and minds of men.
How do you see the resurrection?
I see the resurrection in a few different ways. The resurrection is symbolic of the resurrection of the Christ within each of us. That Christ within us must be resurrected, so we become Christ conscious. We merge with our Christ self. That is what the resurrection is. The awareness is what the resurrection is. The resurrection of the Christ light will bring us into the awareness of who we truly are. Divine sons and daughters of God, one with God, not separate from the Father. Okay? And we are resurrected, people are being resurrected every single day because it's the God within them. They're discovering the Father within them. Life is eternal. We are immortal even in the here and now. Okay? The body is just a vehicle of consciousness loaned that we may gain God mastery or master our free will. It is transient. The invisible part of us which holds the divine presence is that which is eternal.
Eternal is a very interesting word.
Infinite.
Meaning, do you see life continuing?
It is continuous.
Continuous.
The cycle continues.
Meaning there's no, world, as they say, world without end, but you know,
I'll
some
tell
people
you.
are looking every day for fire and brimstone
And that's
you
the
know,
old way of
revelation
thinking.
to, you know, take
Yeah, but-
place and all of that.
But the revelations come from within. That's where the revelations are coming from within. That is why things are being revealed and they are experiencing shifts in consciousness because of inner revelations. Revelations of the Spirit of God that is within them. In terms of world without end, yeah, we take on the doctrines that have been here for ages. Okay? But at the end of the day, when every single being, not just on this planet, every single being returns to that state of oneness, then it comes to an end and then it will begin again. But until such time, there is eternity. The Father said to me, he said, he's taught this, he says, each of my children will return to me to reunify with my love at their individually determined rate. But the agony of awaiting that day will be theirs. I have eternity. The choice is theirs. I will not interfere with the free will that I have blessed them with.
I mean, human beings will have eternity, but then the earth itself, where we are now, is certainly changing, it's evolving.
Also, let me correct you
There's
there.
changes.
The soul is has the potential to be permanent. An atom in the body of God, right? It has the potential. It is through the ascension process that the soul is the impermanent aspect but becomes permanent through the ritual of ascension. They call it the alchemy, where you merge with, let's say, your higher self, the Christ consciousness. And yes, the earth is going through an ascension process, which means that her vibration is raising, her frequency is raising. We are in 3D, third dimension, and she has to gravitate to the fifth dimension. And this has been ordained by the Creator. And which means we're getting a lot of help from the universe now. A lot of the Father's energy, called photon energies, are bombarding the earth planes, remodeling the DNA of the planet. A lot of molecular and atomic changes are taking place.
Which has to do with your weather patterns and what's
Everything,
happening.
precisely. And well, man is reaping what he's created also.
True.
Okay? If you do not live in balance, you will experience the imbalanced consequences. But because we are part of the Earth's morphogenetic field, as the Earth is being remodeled, humanity, everyone is also feeling it at some level. But those who are awakened will feel it more because they are shifting, they are going through energetic shifts. Those who are not awakened and who are basically asleep, they will not be able in time to feel the energies that will be coming from the galaxy. So the Earth is going to ascend, and those who are awakened will fare well. Those who are not awakened, well, their fate lies with God. Okay, but it is inevitable. We have to spend the time now to look around us and observe what's taking place. We have to observe the energy in the people around us, the collective energies. Something big is happening.
I think so.
Alright, the earth is being prepared for great shifts, and humanity has to also, otherwise they will not be able to rise with her. Because the Creator has ordained that she is going to rise now.
And this may be an aside here, I mean, even people who thought about 2012,
Yes.
the end with the Mayan calendar and all of that, and last year, at the end of December, they were thinking that was going to be it.
Well, the world is not going to come to an end. We are simply going through a transition in terms of shifts in consciousness, a dimensional shift. Alright, but yes, the earth as we know it will change in terms of her physical structures, because she has to be purged and cleansed. And that may mean some parts of the earth will go down underwater, a new part, new earth, I won't call it new lands will form, and so it's just part of the cleansing and the purging process. But there will be no Armageddon as people
have become.
Yeah, because it's just that there will be changes, and if they want to be a part of it, well, then they need to open their eyes they need to awaken at multiple levels, not just what is going on around the world, to see the truth, but they need to awaken to the divine presence within them, because the ascension is something that's quite personal. Everyone will ascend at their rate, because that's what the Father said, each will return to me at their individual returning rate. They are going to reading that they will be there. You see, because the Mother Trinity gave us, as sovereign beings, we have two things, awareness and choice, free will to exercise whatever choices, to make the choices we desire.
Hazel, are you familiar with the word Enkai? Enkai.
How do you spell that?
I think it's E-N-K-I. I just thought
Enki.
It's Enki?
Yeah. So
That's a lot of people believe in that spiritual being. Don't know a lot about it.
my impression was that was not a positive force. I've heard it
Don't
before.
know it. From planets,
Yeah.
different planets.
Yeah, the Anunnaki and the Enki. Yeah. My knowledge of them is basically that they are not of the light. Or when I say they're not a positive force.
Okay, and they're not of this world either. They look to gold and all of that.
Yes, well,
so I hear. There's a friend of mine who is very.
Yeah, well, the Anunnaki are no longer on the earth plane. From my recollection, and I have to admit I haven't studied much about them, but I know basic. I know people who know quite a lot about them.
Me too.
But they, my energy has always been led in the other direction. I'm not focusing on them. They are no longer on this planet. They've been lifted off this planet. But from memory, and I may stand to be corrected on this, they came from the planet Nibiru, and the atmosphere had some difficulties, and they came here to mine for gold, to correct that.
Too. Yes.
And basically they wanted to use humans as slaves and things of that nature. So they actually contaminated the grids on the earth. I know that for a fact. They contaminated the grids on the earth because the earth has what is called axiotonal lines. And on the 7th axiotonal lines, there's what is called unnatural seals, and they're Jehovian seals, and they came because of the Anunnaki's presence here, and because we inherit everything that the earth has. Those Jehovian seals are actually within our physical body. They are the pineal gland, they are the thalamus, they are somewhere in the neck, all on the left side. And those Jehovian seals have to be removed also. But we inherited it from the earth.
Hazel SINANAN, Master Reiki teacher. We are so happy to have you in Jamaica, and we are very, very glad for this opportunity to have you here to speak to our people and to teach us so much that we don't know. And please give us any word or encouragement that you'd like to leave with us.
It was a great privilege for me to be here, and the angels insisted that I had to come to Jamaica, and I didn't realize why until I've actually spent time with some of the Jamaican people. They're so warm-hearted and caring and loving, and there's so many who are open and so many who are hungering for more, and they have such an appreciative spirit that I haven't personally experienced before, and I have a deep love for all of God's children. And I can personally say that through my interactions here now, that the Jamaican people are going places. I know there were a lot who were open to what the message I had to bring, and there are some who weren't, but I have so much love for those who were not open, because I know that they are just not ready, and I pray that their guides and angels will help them. You know, the Father has taught me that offense and defense are frailties of mortal disposition, and therefore I act and come from a place of unconditional love, because I come in the light of the one radiant source to represent the Father in the highest possible way. I come with divine authority and divine integrity, and I love you all, and I hope to visit you again and perhaps to work more with the Jamaican people. Thank you very much.